Welcome to Sports Zone 247, your ultimate source for all things football. Stay up to date with the latest football news. Match highlights, transfer rumors, player updates, and in-depth analysis from top leagues around the world. Our first news is Liverpool's plan for Giovanni Leoni as Reds to beat two Premier League rivals to Teen Star. Liverpool are set to secure another transfer in the coming days as they near a full agreement for Parma's teenage star Giovanni Leoni to add to Arne Slot's first-team squad. Liverpool are set to land Parma defender Giovanni Leoni for an initial £26 million. The Reds are closing in on a full agreement with the Serie A side for the centre-back. Leoni, 18, is ready to jet to England to complete a medical once the final terms are agreed in the next 24 hours. Liverpool have beaten Inter Milan and AC Milan to his signature, while Manchester United and Newcastle were also keen. Parma were keen for the player to spend this season on loan with them, but the Reds are ready to put him into their first-team squad. Leoni will be part of the squad alongside Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate and Joe Gomez, who has returned to training this week. Liverpool are also trying to sign Crystal Palace defender Marc Guéhi and are continuing talks with their Premier League counterparts for a deal of around £35 million. Leoni replaces Jarell Quansah, who was sold to Bayer Leverkusen for £30 million earlier in the window. Leoni broke into Parma's starting lineup in the second half of last season and made 17 appearances. He can play in the middle of a back three or on the right side of a two. Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes remains in talks with Parma chief executive, Federico Cherubini, but the main parts of the deal are agreed. Liverpool missed out on young centre-backs in the last couple of windows after failed attempts to land Levi Colwill, Lenny Yoro and Dean Huijsen. Colwill stayed with Chelsea while Yoro preferred Manchester United when he left Lille, and Huijsen picked Real Madrid this summer. The deal does not make any difference to Liverpool's pursuit of Guéhi, with talks to continue through this week. Guéhi, 25, has just 1 year left on his contract at Selhurst Park and wants to make the move to Anfield. Liverpool want to do a deal this summer but could take him for free in 12 months. Palace chairman Steve Parish does not want to let Guéhi go for free but also wants over £40 million for him, with negotiations to continue. Palace turned down a £70 million bid from Newcastle in January and went on to win the FA Cup. They have been demoted to the Conference League, but they are still set for a big season and would want to replace Guéhi if he departs, so want to command as high a fee as possible. Our second news is meet Alexander Isak's controversial agent who FIFA investigated and brokered Chelsea deals. Alexander Isak is being advised by an agent who's found himself at the heart of several controversies in European football since the early 2000s, with Newcastle being his latest battle. Vlado Lemic has once again proved he's not afraid to throw the cat amongst the pigeons this summer. Alexander Isak's agent has stirred up one of the biggest transfer controversies in recent memory ahead of the new Premier League season. The Newcastle United striker is now refusing to play for the club, for which he scored 62 goals in 109 games, as he looks to force through a move to Liverpool before the window slams shut. His decision-making, particularly the timing of it, has raised plenty of eyebrows. But the picture grows clearer when turning the attention to one of the representatives who's been advising him over the past few weeks, Lemic. The world of football agency involves making political power moves and playing off parties against each other. Those are skills that the Serbian, 59, has fine-tuned, having worked in the field for over a quarter of a century. What started as primarily helping players from his home country make moves to the Netherlands has snowballed into one of the biggest agencies in the world as part of Universal 22, who also boast the likes of Emi Martinez and Luka Modric on their books. It was during his early work for PSV in the 2000s that Lemic first came under fire. He was accused of financial misconduct, claims which went unproven but saw him banned from the club's training ground regardless. 4 years later, in 2012, FIFA opened an investigation into his role in the transfer of Croatian midfielder Milan Badlic from Dinamo Zagreb to Hamburg. The involved parties were all contacted by the world governing body after Lemic was alleged to have benefited financially from the deal via an inflated fee. But they closed the investigation in February 2013, saying at the time, after an investigation by FIFA TMS, Transfer Management System, into the allegations, it appears that there was no substantial involvement by Vlado Lemic in this transfer. All the while, Lemic had been working his way up the football food chain. Having previously brokered a partnership between PSV and Chelsea that saw the Dutch side loan the Blues signings until they could get a British work permit, he became increasingly involved with Roman Abramovich. He was said to be behind the transfers of Branislav Ivanovic and Nemanja Matic to Stamford Bridge in 2008 and 2009, respectively. His network of contacts was growing exponentially across Europe, including at Real Madrid, who with his help inserted a £387 million release clause in Luka Modric's contract when he joined from Tottenham in 2012. In more recent years, Lemic helped broker several deals for Ajax, who have since supposedly followed PSV's lead and banned him. Our last news is Alexander Isak torn apart after Newcastle bombshell. Who do you think you are? Alexander Isak was condemned by Gabriel Agbonlahor and Ally McCoist after it was revealed that the Swede, who has moved out of his rental property in the northeast, has no plans to ever play for Newcastle again. Alexander Isak was slammed in a scathing assessment by Gabriel Agbonlahor and Ally McCoist after it was revealed the striker is refusing to play for Newcastle United again, as he pushes to join Premier League winners Liverpool. After Liverpool had a bid of £120 million, including add-ons, rejected for the 25-year-old earlier this month, Isak made his desire to join the Merseysiders clear, although they've yet to return with a second bid. With the Magpies failing to sign Hugo Ekitike and Benjamin Sesko, who instead joined Liverpool and Manchester United respectively, and a plethora of centre-forwards so far this summer, Isak has remained on Tyneside. With less than 3 weeks to go in the window, his future is anything but certain. Isak is adamant that he has played his final game for the club. It comes after a season where he scored a career-best 23 league goals while leading them to the EFL Cup, their first trophy in 70 years. The striker, who has been training on his own since the squad's pre-season return, has no plans to reintegrate himself into the team, even if the club decide not to sell him this summer. It's also understood that Isak has also moved out of his Newcastle home, with the property put back on the rental market. As such, he has come under renewed fire from TalkSport duo McCoist and Agbonlahor, who offered a damning assessment of Isak's behavior. After reading aloud claims Isak has played his final game for the Magpies, Agbonlahor lamented, "Who does he think he is? Disgusting, what that club has done for you." McCoist chimed in and asked, "If you're Liverpool, is that the kind of person you want to be signing?" Aston Villa legend Agbonlahor then expressed sympathy with Newcastle fans and claimed that Isak would do the same to Liverpool should a potential move to Real Madrid in the future come about. "Real Madrid want him in 2 years when he's 27, he'll do the same to you," Agbonlahor said. The fact that Newcastle missed out on Sesko have got every right to say, "Listen, you're going nowhere, we've lost Callum Wilson, we can't get Wissa over the line yet." I'm not a Newcastle fan but I'm fuming for them. You've had a fantastic season, settle down a bit mate. I get it, you want to go and explore and go for a bigger club but if it doesn't suit the club, shut up. Get your boots on, big season for Newcastle, who want to start the season well, at Villa away, and now you're adamant you don't want to play. If you love football transfer updates, league news, and all things soccer, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's stay connected and keep up with the latest from the world of football together.